Out with the old, in with the new. Halloween Horror Nights 33 is fastly approaching. In fact, it's less than like 8 months away from by the time you're watching this video. So I figured it is time to dive into a little bit of speculation of what could come this year. Yes, I have heard some things and some other things we can throw together. So let's dive into the 2024 movie releases.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
The most horrifying movies have come to life. Universal's Halloween Horror Night.
And so we will break these down into 3 categories. One is likely to come to the event, and the next one is maybe, and then the third is less likely. And it might surprise you what could be in that category, so stay tuned for that one.
Every culture has a name for it. We call them imaginary friends.
Now, first up is a Blumhouse released horror movie in March of 8th, coming out, Imaginary. A true original horror that taps into the innocence of imaginary friends and begs the question, are they really figments of our childhood imagination, or something more terrifying lying just beneath?
You are always playing with your imaginary friend. When the connection is severed, the entity becomes enraged.
Imaginary. Yes, a movie about weird, twisted imagination. Looks like there's enough good stuff in that trailer to make a good house, but unfortunately, sorry HHN Bear, you could have had another appearance in a house. I do not think this would come to Halloween Horror Nights this year, so I'm putting it in the less than likely. And up next are 3 mass slashers who are no strangers to Halloween Horror Nights, as they've been featured at the event twice. One in a haunted house, silver screens back at HHN 19, and the other one they've actually been featured in a scare zone, All Night Die-In 2. And this film is the first of a trilogy, The Strangers Chapter 1 coming out May 17th. There's not much known about this. It's just a couple going out to a cabin, and obviously the strangers show up. So what could make a better haunted house than this? And so The Strangers is one of my most sought after properties to be featured at Horror Nights. I so wanted a house. Just that little experience we had in the Silver Screams house was excellent. Some great scares in that room. And then seeing these characters in that perfect scare zone was just magnificent. I've always thought this property was perfect, and why we have never had a house on this beats me. So I'm putting Strangers coming to Halloween Horror Nights this year in that maybe category. Maybe. And up next, coming in on September 6th, is Beetlejuice 2. Surprisingly, I was not ever thinking this movie was going to come out, but Beetlejuice 2. And we know this has to deal with Lydia Dietz and her daughter in the world of Beetlejuice, but not much is known with the story of this, but it is coming in September. I do not see Beetlejuice coming back again. That property was probably a headache for them to get, so I definitely do not see Beetlejuice coming back. I'm putting that in the less than likely category. Super less than likely to come to the event. Sorry. And right around the corner from that, in the spooky season of October 18th, is going to be Smile 2. And not much is known about the details around Smile 2. We know the first one was sort of a big success out of nowhere, but no details have been given on a plot synopsis of Smile 2, but yeah, I don't think I see Smile coming to Horror Nights. I don't know. But realistically, I do not see Smile 2 coming. Although it makes sense at Horror Nights because it would be creepy, unsettling. If you've seen Smile, you would know just some of the visual stuff in there is really, really creepy, but I do not see that coming to the property. I just less than likely. Nope. And everyone loves a clown, so why don't you? Coming in on October 25th is Terrifier 3, which if you've never watched a Terrifier film, it's something to see. I mean, I can't really spoil too much. It's gore, violence, Art the Clown, silliness, and gore. And more gore. And not much of a story is known about the third installment, except for Art the Clown is set to unleash chaos on the unsuspecting residents of Miles County as they peacefully drift off to sleep on Christmas Eve. And this is a Christmas house, pretty much a slasher Christmas movie coming out on October 25th. Art the Clown. And I am really split ends on this one. I haven't heard any concrete information on this other than the creator saying he was in talks with Horror Nights, but that could be anything. That could be a conversation. It could be a text message. It doesn't mean it's a contract or some kind of talking about that. A Terrifier would be interesting to have at the event, but his movies are so gory. Maybe. Not that they haven't done gory houses before, but Terrifiers, it's on another level of gore. So I'm going to put this one in the maybe category. And last but not least, we haven't really spoken about the bear, the cupcake, the fox. All of these characters are from Five Nights at Freddy's. And even though last year we were heavy rumored to be coming to the event, it's one of those things where I am really split ends because I haven't heard any concrete information about it coming. Another property to go and this property to come in. And last year when we went to Blumfest, we did hear A&D talk about sort of the properties and how they do. It is normally a split and they're kind of like stamped on that. So if you really notice, it's usually 5 originals, 5 IP properties. Now they didn't include, I don't think, Megan last year because that was still Blumhouse, but it was just a mini kind of surprise show. It wasn't included in the IPs. Universal Monsters was included. Be that as it may, some people go back and forth whether it's an IP or not. But it is rather interesting. If I start counting all the IPs that I'm thinking of, one of these could be that IP or one of these could be not considered it. I'm going to put Five Nights in that maybe category. Maybe. I haven't heard concrete evidence otherwise, so we'll have to wait and see on that one.